We're back for our daily MLB Best Bets here for game number 5 of the American League Divisional Series between the Detroit Tigers and the Seattle Mariners. Tarik Skubal, George Kirby both take the bump again for this win-or-go-home game 5 from T-Mobile Park. And we're going to have our 3 best bets for this game. Again, we're going to get into that in a moment. Folks, before we get into the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily MLB best bets here on the channel. Yesterday wasn't our day, but you know what? Ooh, man, the Phillies. I mean, it all starts there. I mean, Christopher Sanchez got robbed of the strikeouts because, the MLB needed to make the call to the umpiring crew that, the Dodgers need to get back in the game. So they gave Alex Call, who I love, big Alex Call guy, but they gave Alex Call the walk and it all unraveled for the Phillies. It is what it is. We'll talk about Philadelphia at the end of the video. Boy, do I have a lot to say. Not about just the Phillies, but about the entirety of Philadelphia sports last night. Also, folks, while we're at it, make sure to check out our college football predictions. Later today, we will have our best bets for week 7 of the college football slate. That's going to be, again, our 10 best bets, money lines and spreads. And then on Monday, we posted our entire predictions. My goodness, our entire predictions for week 7 of college football. It's over 4 hours of college football predictions. You're not going to want to miss it. Also on the channel are NFL predictions that was posted on Tuesday. Again, both those are linked in the description down below. NFL best bets and best player props are coming out on Saturday. Also on the channel or on Greedo Plays MMA, UFC Fight Night, Oliveira versus Gamrot predictions, plus the best bets. Again, go check out Greedo Plays MMA if you have not yet. Got that all out the way. Tigers, Mariners, who will face the Toronto Blue Jays, and who will go to Canada on Sunday for game 1 of the ALCS. No breaks. Immediately, the winner of this game will go from Seattle straight to Toronto. We'll get into a winner at the very end of the video, but first, let's go with some player props. We're actually doing 2 player props today because obviously the Nerfie's not playable. Do I think there's going to be a run scored in the first inning? Probably not, but Nerfie today is at minus 180, so we're not touching that at all. Instead, our first best player prop of the day comes with George Kirby. Kirby, over 5.5 strikeouts today is what we are going with. Now, right away, I was a little concerned with this line, but after I looked deeper into it, I'm completely okay with it. My main concern with Kirby potentially getting the strikeouts was the fact that he might get pulled. And it's an elimination game, anything can happen, but then I realized, oh wait, it's the Mariners and the Tigers, and it's in Seattle, Marine Layer. There's probably not many runs scored tonight. And, Detroit, I'll say this right now, Detroit's only got to score 2 or 3. They can get 2 or 3 runs, they're probably going to win. Elimination game, Tarik Skubal, I expect to be great. Now, Tarik Skubal's lines are not playable today. His over-under is 9.5, I think. I'm not going to bet Skubal's under, nor am I going to bet on a guy to get 10 strikeouts. I think he can do it. I'm not going to tell you to put U.S. currency or whatever dollar you use, currency you use. Do not bet Tarik Skubal 10 strikeouts. I have a player prop for both the Mariners and the Tigers. Going to make that very clear right now. So you can bet on either side of the equation, whoever you want to win the game. Anyways, the Seattle Mariners send George Kirby to the mound. Kirby was the game 1 starter for the Mariners, a game that Seattle actually lost, right? So obviously game 1 was pitched. It was a bullpen game for Detroit. Mariners had Kirby. Game 2, Mariners send out Luis Castillo, who actually pitches really well, and Tigers go Tarik Skubal. Now, oddly enough, right, Tigers won their bullpen game in extra innings in the 11th, and they lost the Tarik Skubal game on Sunday, but obviously with a good amount of rest, the same thing the Phillies did, right? Sanchez can go for game 4. The Tigers are going to Skubal in game 5 because, again, he's been given enough rest. Now, this is about George Kirby. The line is 5.5. Why is it so low? It's because there's the potential he gets pulled. The only guy George Kirby could get pulled for is Luis Castillo. In terms of starting pitching, right? I mean, there could be relievers, obviously. I mean, Andres Munoz is obviously going to come into this game at some point in time. Matt Brash, I don't know who. I mean, can we trust Gabe Spear? Can we trust Bizardo, Caleb Ferguson? I don't know. But, Munoz, Brash, and probably at some point in time, you would have to assume Castillo's going to get some run, because in Castillo's only game so far in the series against Detroit, 4 2/3 innings, 0 hits, 1 hit, 0 runs. I gotta think Castillo's going to come in the game eventually, but I think they're not going to pull Kirby unless he completely, craps the bed until he completely fizzles out. So I expect George Kirby to get a good enough amount of run tonight. Asking him to get 6 strikeouts is not a lot, especially against the Detroit lineup. George Kirby so far in this series, 8 strikeouts in 5 innings, gave up 6 hits and 2 runs. And again, will his leash be a little bit shorter this time around? Possibly. I just don't see that many runs being scored early. This is one of the games to me where it's 6th inning, we still don't have a score. And both Kirby and Screwball are pitching well. And here's the thing, right? George Kirby can get taken out of the game in the 5th inning, and he'll probably still have 6 strikeouts. Just because of how Detroit is, especially how Detroit's hit away from Comerica. At Comerica Park so far this series, they've been all right. But man, on the road, they have not hit the ball that well. Again, Kirby dominates that team in game number 1. I don't really think... Well, they scored 2 runs off of him. It was a Kerry Carpenter 2-run shot. But other than that 1 home run from Carpenter, yet not much is done by Detroit in that game. So I wouldn't really expect much else this game either. And well, I'll say it now. I don't really expect the Tigers, or I don't expect the Mariners to really hit on Tarik Skubal. I just don't see it happening. And I think Kirby should be fine. And again, my main point with this is George Kirby can give up runs. Now, how many runs allowance essentially does he have before he's taken out of the game? I don't know. But he can give up runs and he can give up hits and he can still get the strikeout mark, right? I mean, that's just how the guy gets outs. 6 is not asking for a lot considering what the Tigers have done so far in this series. I know Luis Castillo went out there for 4 2/3 and only got 3 strikeouts and walked 4 guys. But I'm telling you again, right? Castillo, Kirby, 2 completely different pitchers. George Kirby is going to pitch for the strikeout a lot more than Castillo will. So that's why I believe, right, Mariners, they had a choice. They could have gone Castillo, who pitched really well in game number 2, but they decided to go Kirby instead. Again, the short leash concerns me, and I'll say this right now. This is my 3rd favorite of the best bets, so we are actually going in order from least favorite to most favorite in today's video. But I think it should be fine. This is the reason to me why they're going Kirby is they believe Kirby can get them out of spots more, especially a Detroit team that has struggled a lot this season at least, or this postseason at least, away from Comerica Park, hitting with runners in scoring position. We saw it in the Cleveland series. We've seen it so far in Seattle. They've struggled with guys on. I think the Mariners are expecting, okay, regardless of who we pitch, Castillo or Kirby, the Tigers are going to find ways to get guys on base. Castillo has a walks problem. Kirby is going to give up more hits, but Kirby should be able to get us to it. Should allow us to get out of more jams. So that's why I think they decided with Kirby. Obviously, Kirby's, I guess, their number 1. He is. Logan Gilbert. I'm not going to lie. If I game on the line, series on the line, I know he can't pitch this game. I'd rather Logan Gilbert go game 1. I'm not in the Mariners organization. I'm not a Mariners fan, but from someone from the outside, if I'm Seattle, I would have pitched Gilbert in game 1 so I could have him back now. It is what it is. Gilbert won his game in game 3, but we're going to go George Kirby over 5.5 strikeouts. The main concern is him getting pulled, so that's why that's our 3rd favorite bet of the day. Our 2nd favorite bet is Spencer Torkelson to get 1 hit. Just need him to get 1. I just need 1. George Kirby in game number 2 against the Detroit Tigers game 1 against the Detroit Tigers, 5 innings, 6 hits, and 2 runs. Okay. Again, we are completely backing Torque here. Spencer Torkelson in game number 1 didn't get a hit. I was down to either Torque or Baez, but then Baez went 0 for 5 in that game. Okay, the reason we're going Torque is from a historical standpoint, Torkelson has hit much better against George Kirby than anybody else that we get the chance to bet 1 hit on. So the reason why I'm doing this, and I'm not doing over total bags like we usually do, is that, yeah, everyone's in plus money today because who in the hell are you going to expect to hit out of Detroit today? Same with Seattle, too, against Screwball. Guys, the books are not expecting many runs. The over-under in this game is 5.5, which is absolutely absurd, but it's a good line. I don't see many runs scoring today. And again, I will get fully onto that when I do my complete breakdown on the money line winner, or just money line and winner of this game. Kerry Carpenter hits Kirby really well, but Carpenter to get a hit's like minus 180, so I'm not going to do that. Minus 145 is very playable. Torkelson is 2 for 8 career-wise against George Kirby. That is not a big sample size, but 2 for 8 compared to the other guy I was thinking of betting at minus 145, Javier Baez, is 1 for 13 with the home run. I'm going with Torque. Both of Torque and Baez have been really good in the postseason, but I'm going to go with Spencer Torkelson. Guys, since game 1, where he did not get a hit against George Kirby and the rest of the Seattle Mariners bullpen, Spencer Torkelson has come on. 1 for 4 in game 2, 1 for 4 in game 3, 2 for 4 in game 4. Now, obviously, he had the biggest hit of game number 2 for the Detroit Tigers, a hit that I thought was going to put them in a huge spot to potentially win the game and go back to Detroit up 2-0. He had the 2 RBI double. Unfortunately for Detroit, obviously, Seattle takes the lead and wins the game against Kyle Finnegan. But in games 3 and 4, both in Detroit, 2 doubles. And Spencer Torkelson is now on a double streak, 3 games, 3 doubles. And I know, we could just go to total bags. I don't love it. We just need a hit. I don't care how he gets it. I just need a base knock. Torque is batting .231 in the postseason. He is 6 for 26. It's not great. It's not. But everyone on that Detroit Tigers lineup could not hit in the Cleveland series. They couldn't. I mean, Torque gets a hit in game 1, and then in games 2 and 3 combined, he goes 1 for 8. He was combined 2 for 11 in the AL wildcard round. He has come on, and sure, he hasn't had, or actually, he had a multiple, he went 2 for 4, in game number 4. 2 for 4 with a double and a single. It's been, again, just mainly 1 hit apiece, but that's all we need, really. And how long does George Kirby pitch? I don't know. This still goes hand in hand, honestly, with the George Kirby strikeout thing, or prop, because I just don't expect Kirby to go 7, 8 innings. I think he's going to go 5 or 6. And the way Detroit hits, again, I know this is not about George Kirby anymore, but the way Detroit hits and the way that they chase pitches, it's like, he can go 4 innings and easily get this line. I look how much success he had against Detroit in game number 1. Again, my biggest concern with George Kirby is still the potential pull, but I think we're going to be okay there. I think we are. Anyways, I have a lot of confidence in Spencer Torkelson here. I do. I have quite a bit of confidence in Torkelson in this spot. You got 9 innings to get 1 hit. Obviously, in terms of, if we're betting a money line, you see minus 145, that's obviously a pretty sizable favorite. So he's expected to go out there and get a hit, and I do think he's going to do so. I believe Torkelson will. Again, Kirby's a good pitcher, do not get me wrong, but I believe Torkelson's going to find that base knock. I think he's going to at some point in time. There are Tigers in this lineup that, hit way better against George Kirby than Torque does. You got, again, Carpenter's 5 for 11 with 5 home runs. That's a concern. I'm going to say that outright. That's a concern. Colt Keith, 5 for 10. Glaber, 5 for 12. The Tigers hit George Kirby really well, which is another thing that's actually a little concerning for our strikeout prop. But that's why it's the 3rd favorite bet of the game. Because... yeah, why aren't you going Luis Castillo? You know what? I don't know. I don't know what Dan Wilson's got cooking up for this game. Yeah, I don't... I get it. Scooball hasn't won against the Mariners yet this season, but... I don't know if I like that. Whatever. I think Torque's able to get ahead. Yes, we're asking a 240 hitter to get a base knock in this game, but Torkelson, another reason why I like him more than Baez is, yes, he's hit better than Baez against Kirby specifically, and Torque bats 4 spot. So, there's going to be way more at-bats than Baez in the 8. And I think it's a really good spot for us. Again, going to Glaber, going to Kerry Carpenter, unfortunately, was just not available to us this game in terms of the odds. I'm not going to tell you to bet on minus 190 for Glaber Torres or Kerry Carpenter. That's just not... it's not fair. It's just, that's just dumb if I did. I know minus 145 still isn't great odds either, but we gotta take what we can get in a game like this, man. There's no other hitter prop I would dare touch. Carpenter, 1.5 total bags, maybe, but it's just, what happens when, Mariners go lefty late in the game, and, I know they don't have a influx of lefties, but when they do, all right, what happens? I got to go with Spencer Torkelson here. I know it's righty-righty, and it is what it is, but I think this is going to be all right. Torque's been pretty good in the series. Again, the thing that turned his series around, he was struggling mightily. Game 2 in Seattle, commentators are essentially crapping all over Torkelson. They're saying, oh, he's not swinging a good bat right now. He's just guessing at the plate, and he turns an inside pitch. It's basically an inside-out swing that finds its way into right field for a double. And the commentators kind of go, oh, well, he kind of just guessed right. Well, no, he just put a good swing on the ball, and it's a mistake pitch by the Mariners, and Torkelson took advantage. Sure, but he guessed right. Give the guys props. Since that moment, he has turned his series around. Again, a hit in every single game of this series since he had the big 2 RBI double in game number 2. He had 2 hits in game number 4, and that come from behind victory for the Detroit Tigers. And I'm going to be going with Spencer Torkelson to go over 0.5 hits. That's one way of putting it. I am taking Spencer Torkelson to get 1 hit in this game here on the road in Game 5 in Seattle against the Mariners. Now we go on to our money line pick. Who goes on to Sunday to the ALCS to take on the Toronto Blue Jays up in the 6th? I'm taking the Tigers. I mean, I thought Game 4 was the Mariners' shot to do it. I thought it was their chance to win it and move on. But here we are. I mean, I said it right off the bat. When the Mariners lost Game 1, I thought they were in trouble. And they turned around and beat Scooball. But initially what I said after Game 1, this isn't entirely how the series panned out and how it played out, but hear me out now. Stay with me. When they lost Game 1, I came on and told you I think they're losing the series. They're going to lose Game 2 to Scooball, they'll win 3 and 4, and then they're going to come back to Seattle for Game 5 and lose. Well, that didn't entirely happen, right? Tigers lost Game 2, and then I kind of thought, okay, Mariners are going to get this now. But Detroit, after looking dead to rights in Game number 4, they come back and they win. Okay. So it's 2-2, and you get the guy on the mound, Tarik Skubal. Guys, this is no discredit to Skubal at all, but there is only one pitcher in baseball. I mean, I like Skubal a lot. So again, Skubal's great. I'm just saying there is one guy I'd rather have, but right, there's only one guy on the face of the earth that I'd rather pitch one game for me to go on to the second round or going to just win a game. It is Paul Skeens. Paul Skeens is the one guy I'd rather have. He's not available, so it's Tarik Skubal. And obviously the Tigers don't have Paul Skeens, and Paul Skeens will not see a postseason until he leaves Pittsburgh. But it's okay. Tarik Skubal is going to be the back-to-back American League Cy Young winner for a reason. He is just that good. And in Game 2, he pitched well. He made 2 mistake pitches to Jorge Polanco. Jorge Polanco, I know, the Mariners had 5 hits. It was 2 solo home runs from Polanco that ultimately won the game for the Mariners. Skubal in that game, 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs on the road in Seattle, and those 2 hits were on 2 solo shots by Polanco into left field. 9 strikeouts. That's why I don't want to go with the over 9.5, because he pitched 7 innings and only had 9 Ks. I mean, you have to worry about more than just Jorge Polanco, obviously, if you're Tarik Skubal, and something that Mariners fans are going with this season or going with for this game is that, well, Skubal can't beat them. He's 0-3 this season against the Mariners. We can look back through all of them. April 2nd in Seattle, Skubal goes 5 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, and the Mariners win 3-2. You then go on to July 11th at Comerica Park, 5 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs for Skubal. Mariners win the game 12-3, and obviously Game 2 of the ALDS, again, 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs for Skubal, both solo shots by Polanco. Mariners win the game 3-2. You can beat Skubal 3 times. Can you beat him a 4th? It was my whole mindset about the Philadelphia Phillies, too. Like, guys, don't get me wrong. We're going to talk about the Phillies in a second. If the Phillies would have won yesterday, they were going to win the series. Oh, they pitched Luzardo. That's just the thing, though. The Phillies were not going to lose at the bank that many times in a row. Like, and it will come to a point where, you can't repeat the same thing over and over again. That's my point here. You can beat Skubal 3 times in a row. Can you seriously beat him a 4th time in a row, though? I mean, it's like, this is going to be a weird shout. Remember when Tom Brady was on the Buccaneers and they went into the postseason and played the Saints in the second round? It was Brady's first year. They beat Washington in the first round, and then second round, okay, they get Drew Brees and the Saints, a team that they had lost to horribly, especially the second time. But they lost to the Saints twice that year, both New Orleans and Tampa Bay. Game 3, divisional round of the playoffs in New Orleans, Tampa went in there and beat them. And that was the whole thing. Like, you can beat Brady twice in a season. Can you really beat him 3 times? And am I comparing Tarik Skubal to Tom Brady? Well, kind of. Obviously, Skubal is nowhere near the legacy of the greatest football player to ever walk the face of the planet. But same thing, same logic applies. Well, New Orleans couldn't beat Tom Brady 3 times. Can the Seattle Mariners really beat the best left-handed pitcher in baseball 4 times in 1 year? I just find that completely hard to believe. I just do. I find that so hard to believe. I think Skubal is going to come through tonight. I think he's going to. Guys, I think we're seeing 8 innings of Tarik Skubal tonight. I think we're going to see 8 innings of Tarik Skubal. He's going to throw 120-ish pitches, I believe. Yes, I think he's going to throw the most he's pitched all year long. And I just think he's going to grind this game out. Guys, I think when the season's on the line, when all the, everything's completely, everything's going, I think Skubal shows up against a Mariners lineup that in the past has choked. A lineup in the past has, been so miserable at times. Are they completely home run dependent? Sure. And they say solo home runs can't beat you, but obviously against the Detroit Tigers, or when you're playing the Detroit Tigers, maybe they can because of their lack of hitting. I really like them going up against George Kirby, though. I do. Guys, the Mariners lost game 1 with Kirby, and they were going up against the bullpen. So, like I mentioned earlier, I think Kirby's still able to get his strikeouts, but George Kirby against all active members of the Detroit Tigers, the Tigers are 29 for 99 against them. That's for a 293 average. They have a 340 OBP and a 986 OPS against George Kirby. And sure, a lot of that has to do with Kerry Carpenter, who only has 5 hits against Kirby, but all 5 of them are home runs. Javi's got a home run. Wencel Perez has a home run. Jake Rogers has 2 home runs. Maybe we see a Jake Rogers appearance. Hell, Jake Rogers showed up in game 3, surprisingly. I don't think we're going to see Jake Rogers. He's a backup catcher for a reason. But the Tigers have seen so much success against George Kirby. And the Tigers have the best pitcher in baseball going. I don't know. I have a feeling the Mariners are going to go back into what the Mariners have been and were at the beginning of the year. And that's just a team that leaves guys on base and just can't hit the baseball. And that doesn't become a bigger problem than it does against Tarek Skubal. I'll say this now, and I said the same thing about the Philadelphia Phillies. I thought they were going to go to the World Series. I thought they were going to win yesterday. They didn't. If the Mariners win this game, I think they're going to beat the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays are great. They've got all this power. Vlad Guerrero with the Yankee lose. Like, that was hilarious. Him and Big Papi doing it. That's some of the funniest piece of media you're ever going to watch. I believe if the Mariners win this game, I think they're still going to go to the World Series. If the Tigers win this game, Blue Jays in 5. I'm just going to be honest. Blue Jays in 5. The Tigers will take game 3 at Skubal, and the Blue Jays will go back to Toronto in game 5, and they're going to win it, okay? I forgot we're 2-3-2 still in baseball. Nope, they'll win it in Detroit game 5. Maybe I'll give them 6. I'll say 6. We'll go Toronto in 6. I think the Tigers are going to win this game, though. It's Tarek Skubal, man. I can't bet against Skubal here. He's not going 0-4 against a team in 1 year. And yes, do the Mariners have bats? 100%. Randy, Raleigh, Polanco, obviously, Julio, Gino, Josh Naylor, Victor Robles has been hitting fairly well. I just can't do it. Not betting against Skubal. I know in part, we're betting on Skubal. That means we have to bet on the damn Tigers lineup. But again, though, there's not another pitcher I'd rather than face right now than George Kirby. Guys, there is legitimate ownage for Kerry Carpenter over George Kirby. I mean, if 5 for 11 for 5 home runs isn't pure ownage, that it doesn't exist. I mean, like that's the definition of ownage. He has a 2.273 OPS against George Kirby. Sure, only 11 at-bats, but still, it's not like, he has 3 home runs and 3 at-bats. No, 3 home runs and 6 at-bats. No. He's 5 for 11 with 5 home runs. Every hit Kerry Carpenter has against George Kirby is a home run. I'm going Tigers. I mean, it's hard enough in the playoffs to score runs, and now Skubal's pitching. With the exception of 2 bad pitches to Jorge Polanco, Tarek Skubal doesn't give up a run in that second game of the series. It's what I envisioned as soon as they lost game 1. It didn't go the exact way I thought it was going to happen, but it ultimately still comes down to this game 5. How do the Mariners beat Tarek Skubal? You can beat him once in this series. You can beat him 3 times in the entire season. Can you beat him a 4th? Odds say that probably won't happen. Tarek Skubal and the Tigers win. They will go to the ALCS. We'll see you on Sunday in Toronto. Game 1 might get ugly, but Tigers win in advance, -135. On to the second round. They will take down the Mariners here in Game 5. Before we end the video, oh boy, the Phillies. Not going to talk much about Cubs-Brewers. We will have the entire video tomorrow to talk over Game 5 from American Family Field in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, between the Brew Crew and the Cubs. That will be fun. I'm excited we get a Game 5, so I can make a video tomorrow. Anyways, no, I wish the Brewers had won yesterday. Bats didn't show up. Matt Boyd proved me wrong. We'll see. I think Brewers right now opened at a -125-ish favorite for Game 5. Again, we will be on that tomorrow. I'll see you same time tomorrow for that game. Anyways, Phillies, man. The Dodgers move on to the next round, and honestly, I mean, can you think of a worse day in Phillies sports history than yesterday? I'm sure, again, there's been worse days in the past. Obviously, the Phillies have been eliminated several times from the postseason. The Eagles have lost 2 Super Bowls. But yesterday, I mean, the city of Philadelphia loses 3 times. Phillies lose. Orion Kerkering, oh my goodness, I don't even want to put all the blame on Kerkering, honestly. I mean, guys, Harper, Schwarber, and Turner cannot go combined, 1 for 14 in an elimination game in the postseason? It just can't happen. Castellanos was the only guy who really showed up. And sure, did the Phillies get squeezed on that Sanchez call against Alex Call? Oh, they did. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, that was horrible, but it is what it is. Phillies are gone. How about the Philadelphia Eagles? Oh my goodness. Losing to Jackson Dart, the king of New York, or is that Vladdy Guerrero? I don't know. Jackson Dart, man. Dart and Scatterbo beat the Eagles 34-17. Yeah, Phillies in trouble, locker room problems. That's gonna go the wrong way. That's gonna be like 2023, where they just fall off a cliff going into the postseason. And to make matters worse, I know it's game 1 of the regular season, and I know they were playing the reigning, defending back-to-back world champion Florida Panthers, but full off season of Philadelphia Flyers hockey, and they immediately lose their first game of the year. And how about Brad Marchand, game-winning goal in the 3rd? Again, it is what it is. The Flyers losing 1 game to the reigning champs doesn't really matter, but that's just, to add insult to injury, the Flyers lose on top of that. I would talk about the 76ers. Their season is already over. It's a matter of time before Embiid, unfortunately, gets injured, and Jared McCain's already injured going into the season. I mean, who has it worse than Phillies fans? But guys, going back to the Phillies, hey, Bryce, it's time to come home. It's time to come home, Bryce. I mean, hey, you can request a trade down. We can trade for you like how Houston just traded for Carlos Correa. We'll send you a couple players from the Wilmington Blue Rocks, and we'll call it a deal, all right? Philadelphia Phillies, it's time to tear it down, okay? It's time. Your reign is over. Your window is closed. Goodbye, Schwarber. Goodbye, Ranger Suarez. Goodbye, JT Realmuto. And I think it's time to say goodbye to Bryce Harper, too. I think Bryce needs to come back to a winning city, okay? And before you say anything, the Nationals haven't won. Yeah, who's won a World Series more recently? Exactly. I think it's time for Bryce to come home, man. I think it is. I mean, I was thinking, maybe 2036 retirement run with Bryce Harper, and when he's like 40. Nah, it's time to right now, okay? Let's get Bryce back in DC. I'll give him a standing O. I'll fly to DC, and I will give Bryce a standing O myself. It is hilarious. The Phillies season is over. And now, from the Nationals' perspective, too, the Commanders are going to win the NFC East. The Flyers, whatever, the Caps are going to be better. And that's not a concern. But, look at the Nats, man. Okay, Mets are going to suck. Phillies might tear it down. Braves and Marlins are in the 70 to 80 win range. If the Nats spend some money, we might be back. I'm just saying, we might be back next year. There's a chance. Now, again, big if. Mark Lerner, please, just watch these NL East teams at the end of the year. We actually have a chance. I'm just saying, the Nats could be back into it next season, but my goodness, Philadelphia. That last play, I don't know what he's doing, but at the same time, you can't blame Kerkering when your team scores 1 run in 11 innings. It sucks for the Phils, but, winning World Series in the last, 15 seasons, it's not for everybody, man. It's just not. Anyways, that'll do it, folks, for our MLB Best Bets. I don't know why I went on that rant of Philly right now. That'll do it for our MLB Best Bets here for Game 5 of the ALDS between the Tigers and the Mariners. If you haven't yet, though, make sure that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure you like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do this great thing in the picks. We'll be back tomorrow again for Game 5 of the NLDS. Cubs Brewers, again, from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You're not going to miss that. Check out our college football best bets posted later today at noon. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.